Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending September 21, 2022. On one of our listings, we recently received an offer. Normally, that's good news. This offer was really low. You would consider it a lowball offer. Anybody would. Well, when I spoke to my sellers about this lowball offer on their home, they got upset. They were really offended. One of the sellers was telling me how much effort and time they put to update the home, to do renovations, how many nights and weekends they were up late to prepare the home, to update it, and there's no way that they could possibly accept the offer. And I agree, it was a completely lowball offer. They didn't even want to respond because they were so emotionally upset. Now, sometimes not responding to an offer strategically makes sense. But because of strategy, we try, as realtors, we'll try often as possible to keep the emotions out of the negotiations. Anyways, I ended up calling the buyer's agent that submitted the offer, and I told him that we weren't going to respond back. Now, I didn't tell him because my clients were emotionally upset. I told him just because the price is so low that, like, where would we begin to negotiate? It's so out of the realm of possibility. And I politely instructed them to take a good look at what's sold in the area, look at the market in the area, compare it to our home, and if you're still interested, come back with a more reasonable price. Which, to my surprise, that's what they did. The next day, they submitted another offer. The price was much better now and well within the realm of possibility that the price made sense. So I was happy to now present this new offer to my client. And as soon as they read the name of the buyer, they were still upset. Even though the price now made a lot more sense, they were still upset. And I had to kind of walk our client through hey, this price now makes more sense. We can negotiate from this price. It's still not everything that you want, but we can discuss, we can maneuver, we can counter offer. There's things we can do now that, there's a possibility we could reach a deal. But my client was just so upset still from the first offer, couldn't get over that this buyer tried to go in at that low price. Sellers, typically speaking, almost always, obviously want as much as possible for the home, and buyers want to buy for as little as possible. And understanding the other side's point of view sometimes is very helpful. Emotions and when emotions get to be part of the transactions, it's one of the worst things that can happen. It can kill a deal. And sometimes we need to be buffers in between buyers and sellers to hash out the numbers and conditions and closing dates and reach a happy median that's a win-win for both sides. But when it comes to emotions, man, be careful. Emotions can kill a deal, whether you're on the seller side or the buyer side. If you think this video can help somebody please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's organized so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. So it's no secret. Interest rates have gone up and most likely going up a little bit more, and it's affected the market overall. Sales are down, average sales price is down overall. But if we just focus on the last few weeks, say the fall market, it's amazing to see how one area, Durham for example, is actually doing pretty good. And Brampton and Mississauga, it's like nothing's happening, or there is no fall market. It's almost like it's been canceled due to the interest rate hikes, and it's just a whole different attitude. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to get right into the numbers here. So here's the three areas here. Blue is Mississauga, green is Brampton, and Durham area here is the burgundy. For Durham, I'm looking at Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby, and we can see kind of where prices are going here. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. So I've got Mississauga. Now, typical fall season is we expect an uptick from the end of July, August market. Almost every year that's what we see. Sales jump up a bit in the fall market. Prices jump up a bit in the fall market, but we're not so much seeing it here. So Mississauga detached properties, only 29 were sold, which is down from the previous week. We'd expect it to go up. It came down. 29 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price came down a little bit from the previous week. It's sitting at $1,395,000, which is 14% lower than last year's average sold price. Median price is sitting at $1,320,000, and that is 7% lower than last year's median price. And if we look at the dotted lines, which is the 4-week moving average for average sold price, if we go back about 4 to 6 weeks, average sold price, the 4-week moving average, it's trending downwards. Median price, if we go back, say, mid-August, 4 to 6 weeks, it's pretty steady, but the last few weeks, I don't know, it kind of looks like it's coming down a bit. Looking at year-to-date sales, 38% fewer sales in Mississauga of detached properties this year versus last year. And looking at listings, 6% fewer listings this year versus last year. If we look at active listings, they're up this week versus the previous week. They're up quite a bit, actually. So sales are down. Active listings is up, and active listings is the amount of properties available for sale. Months of inventory shot way up. It's now sitting at 3.7 months of inventory. 19 is the average days on market. So that's Mississauga. We're not really seeing a fall market right now. Here's Brampton. Similar picture. 33 detached properties were sold. So that's down from the previous few weeks. We would expect sales to go up. It's come down. 1 of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price came down from the previous week. It's sitting at $1,161,000. $1,161,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $1,156,000 is 2% lower than last year's median price. And if we look at the 4-week moving average, kind of looks quite steady, but especially for the average sold price, the last 3 weeks of fall market, it's trending down a little bit. Sorry, my clicker is not working as good as it should. Okay, so sales year to date in Brampton, 45% fewer sales this year versus last year. That's a huge difference in volume this year versus last year. Now, last year for sure was a record-breaking year. It's difficult to repeat that year, but 45% is still a big change from last year. And if we look at listings, 12% fewer listings. And look, active listings shot way up from last week. Active listings is sitting at 504. So for Brampton and Mississauga, active listings went up. Sales went down, and months of inventory has gone up for both Mississauga and Brampton. For Brampton, it's sitting at 3.5 months of inventory. Let's look at Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as our Durham sample. It's a completely different picture here. Sales went up. They've gone up for 3 weeks in a row, which is a typical fall market. 51 detached properties were sold. 1 of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price is up. $1,134,000 is the average sold price for week ending September 21 in the Durham region. And average sold price for a few weeks in a row has gone up, a typical fall market. The average sold price of $1,134,000 is 7% lower than last year's average sold price. The median price of $1,075,000 is 6% lower than last year's median price. And if we look the 4-week moving average for both, it's trending down for both over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Year-to-date sales, we have 32% fewer sales in the Ajax, Pickering, and Whitby area this year versus last year. So year-to-date sales. And active listings is also up like the other regions, 248 active listings. And excuse me here, got to work on my clicker. Months of inventory. Look what's going on in the Durham region. We're sitting at 1.1 months of inventory. That's a seller's, it's an aggressive seller's market still in the Durham region. And we're looking at days on market average of 7 days on market. So as months of inventory come down, average sold prices will tend to go up. And when you're looking at 1.1 months of inventory, still very competitive. Now, it's not competitive in a sense where prices are what they were at the beginning of the year. So overall, interest rates have brought prices down. But if we just look at right now what's happening, Durham, 1.1 months of inventory, it's competitive. It's very active out there right now. Here's condos for all of Peel region. The majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga, but this is condos for all Peel region. 34 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Average sold price is $626,000. $626,000 is 9% higher than last year's average sold price. The median price of $577,000 is 2% higher than last year's median price. Look at the 4-week moving average for condos, both for average sold price and median price. If we just go back 4 to 6 weeks, say we go back to the beginning of August here, it's trending upwards. Not aggressively, but the line's been going up. Average sold price and median price, generally speaking, has been increasing for condos in Peel region. Year-to-date sales, we have 32% fewer condo sales this year versus last year. Listings, we've got basically virtually the same amount of listings now year-to-date. Active listings has gone up a little bit over the previous week. Months of inventory has come down. You're sitting at 3.4 months of inventory, with 25 being the average days on market. Here's a quick summary. Look at this, Ajax, Pickering, and Whitby, 1.1. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb there, but the other days on market or the other months of inventory are sitting very, very close to what we call a balanced market. In many situations out there, it's going to feel more like a buyer's market in some situations. I take this information for being the accurate numbers happening right now. Over the next few weeks, it's going to be really, really interesting how things play out. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.